What is up, everyone? Welcome, episode 30, Meet the Press. Back after a brief break last week. I know it was a long weekend for me this weekend. Jared, do you have a long weekend? I know you had football yesterday.
Yeah, it's always a long weekend when it's a football weekend. Those
Right,
game
yeah.
days, man, they kind of drag on and on. Like you don't realize how late it gets, and then you're sitting in the office at midnight, still like working on random stuff.
What was your kickoff yesterday?
2:30,
Yeah, we had a 2 o'clock kickoff. Yeah.
yeah, which is probably the best time.
Yeah, I'm good. I like the 2 o'clock kick. We had a 6 o'clock with SEMO a few weeks ago, and I hated that just because, I mean, that's kind of a thing where your whole day is almost allotted because it's not like, oh, I'm gonna, do stuff in the morning. That's fine, but like you still have that mindset of I still have to go work that afternoon.
Right. And like I'm not a big fan of the 11 a.m. kick either because like if you're like me, you get to the stadium a couple hours early,
Right, right,
and so at that point you're there at 9, so you're getting up pretty early to like get to the game. When
right.
in
Yeah,
reality, like you're used to working nights most of the time. But no, it was not a close game that I saw on Saturday.
yeah. I didn't. Ours was 34-17. We beat North Dakota. Um,
SIU's rolling right now, aren't they? Beat
yeah,
Northwestern the
man.
week before.
Yeah. Don't spoil my prize pick of the week. Damn it.
My bad, my bad.
Yeah, but
I did see.
yeah,
Didn't Northwestern lose to Miami yesterday? Ohio,
Ohio. Yeah,
Miami,
and
Ohio.
yeah, but Miami, Florida lost yesterday. Did you
Yeah,
see who
to
they
Middle
lost to?
Tennessee.
To
Yeah,
Middle.
Middle
Yeah.
Tennessee. I'm a CUSA guy. I follow
Oh,
CUSA.
of course you. Yeah, yeah.
I've got a CUSA lanyard holding my keys together.
Did you get that at like a tournament or something?
Media day. I don't know, media day or
Yeah,
tournament or something like that. I've just got so many lanyards now.
yeah. I have.
Like that's not something you prepare for when you get in this business. Is the number of lanyards that just come into your life.
That's a fair. Yeah, that's fair. We have one of the guys that produces our ESPN broadcasts on campus. I went in his office a couple weeks ago, and he had like three separate places in his office of lanyards. And I'm like, I just have a like this one of these little boxes back here is just filled with lanyards in my home office.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I've got a whole box with lanyards, one with like old credentials because I save all my credentials.
of
Just
course
yeah,
you just do.
yeah,
It's a thing we do.
yeah. So
Um but everything I mean you said it wasn't close. So I'm
no, it was
assuming
yeah. Western won 73-0.
who they play?
Florida International. It was a conference game.
Are they the
I thought,
Panthers?
yeah, they're the Panthers. Used to be the Golden Panthers. The number of times
Right.
I was asked in the last week, are they still the Golden Panthers? I was like, no. But
They're just
yeah,
Panthers. They lost the gold
they're
in the
yeah, they're struggling right now as a program. They've won 2 games since they upset Miami in 2019 towards the end of that season, and they've won 2 games since then. So Miami just likes getting upset, I guess. But
Yeah, man, that's
um,
Miami's thing. And I thought that like not to go on a Miami tangent, but I thought like what's the guy's name? Cristobal? Is that right? Mario
Mario Cristobal,
Cristobal?
yeah,
Yeah. I thought like he was supposed to be the dude. He was at Oregon? Oregon?
I think so.
I think that's right. Yeah.
But
I feel like Miami's
I
a
don't know.
hard job now, man.
Yeah, it,
Like
I don't get how you don't
hey, you don't have dudes.
like.
How
Yeah,
the hell do you not have dudes in Miami?
Miami. That
It's freaking
Broward and Dade
Miami.
Broward and Dade counties, it's loaded with football talent.
Dude,
And who
it's
doesn't want to live there? It's fun.
both of those
Love
things.
Miami.
Both of those things are 100% true. Number one, you got to have dudes in Miami, in Dade County. You got to have dudes there. Number two, I mean, recruits come from all over. You want to recruit. I mean, I get it. The South, certain areas have different talent, whatever. Wherever that recruit is coming from, it's got to be a pretty great place for him to think or her to think Miami. I'd rather stay here. Like that's got to be like that's a hard sell to make
Yeah.
And I mean, you're the 17, 18-year-old kid who is growing up in bum fudge, Nebraska, and they're like, "Hey, we can put you down to Miami. We can get you a setup." You can say no.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't understand FIU. It's, I believe, the fourth largest school in terms of, student body in the country. It's in a
Wait,
recruiting
what?
hotbed.
Wait. You said the country? Is that true?
I believe so. Yeah. That's what their coach said at media day.
That's a lot. The country's a lot.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Arizona State, Central Florida, Texas A&M, and Florida International, according to this random article I pulled up as quick as I could.
Works for me. But yeah, okay, so interesting. So, wow.
But anyway, yeah, I was talking to, you know, someone that knows about the team more, and they were talking about how they basically had no offensive line, and I was like, "How? You've got the fourth largest student body and
Right.
the best football, arguably the best, football producing talent
Isn't
area of the
isn't
country.
IMG down there too? I know it's like Brandenburg, but I don't know how far that is from
There's
Miami.
a lot down there, and from like West Palm to Boca and
Right.
Fort Lauderdale in between there. Uh, but yeah, it's. I remember I was in Miami last year for their game against FIU, and I was down on the field, and one of the assistants just came over to talk, and I was like, "How is this place not better?" Because
Bumping.
Miami's fun. They had a DJ there or something, some kind of guy playing the music, and it was like it would have been a great environment if the stadium wasn't totally empty. Because he was
What
killing it.
is it a big okay, now I gotta look it up. What's it called? Remember the stadium?
They changed the. It depends where you look. Um, it, I believe, is. Hold on.
Okay, I got it. Called FIU Football Stadium. Okay.
Yeah. FIU football stadium, Ricardo Silva Stadium.
Oh, Ricardo Silva. Okay.
Sometimes people call it that.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
that would
they
be
they
yeah,
weren't
that's a tough
calling it
place if
that.
it's empty.
Yeah, they weren't calling it that last year, but the sign still said it on the stadium, which I didn't understand either. But
Interesting.
no,
Okay. Okay.
it's not a bad stadium.
No, it looks cool.
It is what it is. The press setup isn't great. You're in like a suite instead of a press box, and instead of like how the most press boxes have like the almost like the table desk setup, then you have like a wheelie chair that you
Yeah.
sit at.
Yeah.
Instead of that, it was like a couple of rows, and it was like a table, but instead of chairs, you had a bench. So I was between a media person and an SID, you know, sitting in the middle seat, like
Right.
I was, like someone's daughter getting taken to school in an old truck with only, the front row as a seat.
I feel like there are a lot of other analogies you could have used and
Well, there was
in that situation.
a way to describe it that would have been the easiest way. Well, I'm trying to keep this family friendly.
I know. I know exactly. Are they two words and the first word starts with R? Yeah, I feel
Riding?
yeah, writing. Yeah, I feel like this. Yeah,
Yes.
but this is a family friendly podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Um
But no, it was not a good game. So,
mm,
did you,
ye-
since you probably were at your game yesterday,
I
you
was.
said you had a fun job, right?
I did, yeah. So I got a text yesterday morning from my boss asking if I could help our facilities um, with some kind of instant replay, and I had no idea what the heck that meant. And so I get there, and I was the person that like stood on the sideline with the headset, talking with the instant replay officials, and would run out on the field if there was an instant replay. And we did have one. So my job, they told me my job was to run on the field for like touchdowns, safeties, and change of possessions, and I had to go like this to like until it was confirmed. So like I was supposed to go out to the 20, hold this, and then when they say confirmed, I had to put my arms out and do like the like confirmed call or whatever. So SIU scores first possession out, first second possession out, and I run out on the field, cross my arms. They say confirmed. I do the thing, and I go back to the sideline, and the guy in the microphone in the radio goes, "Yeah, Tyler, if you just want to stand there, nobody was really looking at you, so we'll just tell you whenever you have to go out there." And I said, "Sounds good." And then, and I think the third quarter, there was a North Dakota catch on the sideline. It was ruled incomplete on the field. Instant replay looked at it, and I knew that was my time to shine. I knew that that was my moment. So I ran out on the 20, turned the radio up, clicked it on, gave it to Marcel, who was our head official, our white hat that game. And like, Marcel, it's all you, man. And they overturned it.
They wouldn't have done that without you.
I know.
You
I don't
changed the
know.
course of this game.
I know. That was it was weird because like obviously I wanted SIU to win. But like in that role, I felt like I'm like, all right, if it's close, I'm like not like I'm gonna be the ultimate decision maker, but in that situation, I'm like, I feel like I would have to be like I would be impartial. Like,
I mean, it's not really your call either.
yeah, it's not my call. There are three guys up in the booth that are looking at everything. Yeah, it's not my call. I'm literally the hander, like the holder, the glorified holder. Um, but yeah, it was good. But it was cool seeing like being that close and kind of like being involved in the game, like being a like a not just a I'm trying to think of how to word this. Because being a reporter, you're not involved in the game if you like if you know what I'm like you're just covering the game. You're saying what happened. I felt
Yeah.
like not like an active participant, but I felt like I was involved in the game festivities. And that was interesting to me. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It was fun.
Yeah. You remember a couple weeks ago? It's been a long couple of weeks when we talked about Kentucky football.
Yeah. Are they
And
legit?
yeah, that was the question.
Yeah.
4-0,
4-0.
beat
Yeah.
Northern Illinois,
Yeah.
get Ole Miss this weekend. Probably the biggest test, that they've had so
Has
far.
that
Kentucky's up to what, number 7 after today's
7?
poll came
Yeah.
out? Yeah.
Has that
The
line came out yet?
yes. The opening
Okay.
line was Ole Miss 4-point favorite.
I told
Over
you.
under
See,
55.5.
see, that's the thing. I freaking told you. I think that would have been the tell. That would have been the first sign of what's Ole Miss right now? Because I know they won too. They're 4-0 also, right?
Oh, I believe so.
I think they are.
The game is in Oxford.
Right, it's in Oxford, and I thought that they would be. I thought they would be favored anyway, but I think that still would have been like a cool thing for Kentucky to be 14. Oh
Yeah,
wow,
14.
I'm looking at Ole
That's
Miss as 6.5.
6.5. Mine was.
Yeah.
I was looking at the opening
Okay, so
line.
this is on the ESPN app.
Okay, yeah, that's probably more up to date than what I saw.
6.5, and then that football power index matchup predictor 78.5% in favor of Ole Miss.
I mean, I don't know. I get that it's in Oxford.
And they
Oxford
should be. I
seems
feel
like
like
a
Ole
tough
Miss still
place to
should be
go.
favored. Yeah, Oxford's tough place. Hotty toddy. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the Ole Miss's results aren't, mind blowing. They beat Troy 28-10, but now we're kind of seeing Troy, make a little bit of noise. They beat Marshall
Right.
on Saturday, and Marshall had, they're struggling right now. Lost to Bowling Green last week after the win over Notre Dame.
Okay, I'm just running through these four. I'm going to go ahead and say that strength of schedule is not hot.
Yeah, Central Arkansas, typically a solid FCS program, but
Yeah, solid FCS program.
We talking
Yeah,
SEC. They're supposed to be SEC. So
yeah,
Georgia Tech, it sounds like they're about to fire their coach.
yep.
So, and Tulsa,
I mean, your closest matchup is
I don't know.
Tulsa.
Yeah, I don't know much about Tulsa football in 2022, to be completely honest.
So Tulsa lost to Wyoming in double OT week 1. Beat Northern Illinois by 3. Beat the brakes off Jacksonville State, and then lost to Ole Miss by 8 in Oxford.
That's a fairly decent schedule. Wyoming's been tough. They hung tough with Indiana. They were hanging tough for a while with BYU last night.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's respectable.
But yeah, I think
it'll be the test, I think, that kind of tells you how good Kentucky is.
Yeah, I think, I mean, obviously Florida was kind of that first measuring stick, and then you've had, was Florida what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago? Because they had Youngstown State last week.
Right.
And Miami, Ohio the week before.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, so it has been 3. Okay. I think that was kind of like that first one, that first big obvious test. But that was in Lexington, right?
No, that was at the Swamp.
Oh, that was at the Swamp too? Okay.
That was at the Swamp. But I mean, Florida hasn't been mind-blowing this year. I mean, they've lost a couple tough games. Like I'd consider Kentucky a tough game.
Yeah.
At this point, and lost to Tennessee this weekend in Knoxville. Neyland's a tough place to play too.
Yeah,
so, and they're Tennessee's solid.
Yeah.
So Billy Napier just took over. That's 2 of his first 4 games there. Being a Power 5 coach. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt at this point.
If you could be the head football coach of any Power 5 team, who would it be? Actually, no.
Any Power 5?
That's too much. That's too much. I want to make this even better. If you could be that guy that follows the head coach around on the sideline and makes sure that he doesn't get too far onto the field or get out of hand.
The get back coach?
The get back coach. What school would you want to be a get back coach for in the Power 5?
Can you narrow it down by conference? We can go conference by conference if you want.
We'll say SEC. We'll say SEC. Yeah.
Let me
Or SEC head coaches? Is that what you're looking up right now?
I'm just looking at all the teams. LSU, you got Brian Kelly, A&M, Jimbo Fisher, Nick Saban.
Like there are some that like would be automatically out for me, and
Sam Pittman in Arkansas. No, thank you. He seems like a big dude.
Lane
Kiffin, I feel like he's a guy that I could keep back. He might. Yeah. He's like very charismatic, but he's not a massive guy. Like if it was Ed Orgeron at LSU, he would automatically be out for me.
He'd be trucked. Yeah.
Yeah. Kirby Smart,
I don't know, man. He looks
massive,
like
but he's not small.
He looks like he has like frat boy strength.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say like frat boy strength. Yeah, it would be the same.
Yeah. Mark Stoops, no, not him. Pruitt at Tennessee, no.
You haven't said my favorite one yet, and I think
Missouri, South Carolina, maybe with Beamer, maybe.
Beamer, dude. I think I would probably do Mike Leach, if I'm being honest.
He's
just because I think. Like, do you know the kind of stuff that you would hear on the sideline?
Yeah. Do you think you have the pirate in you?
Man, I don't know, man. I would swing my sword though. Like I know I would do that. Like I think the knowledge and just the pure ridiculousness that you would hear on the sideline would be worth it.
Yeah.
What about
I'd say probably Beamer in South Carolina. Because also the defensive coordinator there is Clayton White, and I know him, so I'd have an inside guy on the side.
So if you had to be a get-back coach for a college basketball team,
You have to give me the conference.
Oh man, I don't want to give you a because I want to make it easier. I want to make it harder.
Well,
Um,
there's too many to think about.
I know. Well, I'm just thinking like the top tier ones, like your Bill Selfs, your
Maybe
cows. Self. I don't think I wouldn't have fun with that. I want one that like I would have fun with. Like that would be like fun to do that with.
I feel like Cal wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, I
He
don't think
wouldn't
cow would be
really have
bad.
much say in any of it. He's kind of his own guy.
Yeah. Um,
Duke, if it was Coach K, definitely not.
I'm trying to think of like a younger coach who's like super fiery and would
Maybe
be a lot of fun.
maybe Leonard Hamilton, Florida State.
Man,
He just seems like a nice guy,
Leonard Hamilton seems
and
like a
he's a
nice
great
guy,
coach.
and he always wins. Like
Yeah, he's
he
a great
all
coach.
like every year, you can bet Florida State is going to beat North Carolina, is going to beat Duke, is going to beat Virginia. Like every year, you can bet on that pretty much.
Now I'm like going through and thinking about it.
Okay, I got.
Yeah, it might be him. Just he's been
So
around too. I bet he's got some great stories.
so I'm just looking at the. Wait, let me find the list. Current head coaches in the SEC. Um, Nate Oates, Eric Musselman.
Oaks
Eric
wouldn't be
Musselman
bad.
may be fun. I would like Eric Musselman just because
Yeah, but
I was a Nevada fan. Bruce Pearl, I feel like he would be tough.
yeah, he would be tough. I wouldn't want that
Um,
one. I wouldn't want
Todd
LSU.
Golden.
Well, LSU's not Will Wade anymore, so maybe.
No, it's Matt
It's
McMahon.
McMahon.
I would probably pick LSU. So like I would because I would
Well,
that
I
would
mean,
probably be easy for that
yeah,
would be fun. Jerry Stackhouse at Vandy,
he
or you could go
always has the
Penny.
drip. Have you ever watched him coach? He's
Yeah,
got like the best suits,
you could.
hands down. Like everybody talks about Jay Wright and his suit game, but
Jay Wright has a good suit
I
game
think, yeah, I think Stackhouse has.
though. Buzz Williams, Rick Barnes, Kermit Davis.
Rick Barnes, I
Kermit,
could probably keep back.
Kermit, you could be. I mean, Kermit, I feel like would be easy to keep back.
They weren't great last year though, so you have to find that balance of teams you would want to, watch regularly, be in that town, and a coach that you could actually hold back. So it wouldn't seem like you're just bad at your job.
Right, I guess that's true.
See, it's a balancing act.
Yeah.
If you had to do it in the NFL, who do you think you
Ooh,
would pick? That's tough.
dude, that Detroit guy is nuts, man.
Oh,
Yeah,
what
I
is it?
watched him on Hard Knocks. I don't know his name. I forgot his name, but that dude's nuts. Like, I don't think I could hold him back. No, no chance. No chance. No chance.
Did you watch
No,
any NFL today? You said you didn't watch your Bills, so
I didn't watch the Bills. I mean, I saw it coming. I knew there was a possibility of losing today. You got your entire secondary out. You got 3 all-pro DBs out, and
yeah,
you
it's just a
lost by
recipe for
2,
disaster.
and you were pretty close. And it was like apparently like 200 degrees in Miami today. So, um,
Did you
yeah.
watch any of that Thursday night game, Steelers Browns?
No, I started started the Dahmer documentary, so I haven't watched any football.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah,
I was just gonna say I'm not like I grew up a Steelers fan. I don't really
right,
follow as closely anymore, but
right.
like I try to be knowledgeable about what's going on. And like the big thing with them, it seemed this offseason was who's going to be that guy that replaces Ben Roethlisberger, and so they go in the draft and they get Kenny Pickett,
You get
who
Kenny Pickett.
everybody says the most NFL ready guy in the class.
Oh,
Not necessarily the biggest
and a pick
upside.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but my thing is, why do you go after the most NFL ready quarterback to not play him instead of getting a guy maybe that takes a couple of years to develop? if you're not going to play him anyway right away. I don't care either way, but that's just like I just don't understand that.
Who is it Mason Rudolph right now?
Trubisky.
Oh yeah, Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They've got
Former
Rudolph
former Bills
on
great.
the bench. I've never been high on Mason Rudolph because
Um
also like I grew up in the era where the backup quarterback there was Charlie Badge, who was like one of the best backups I would say.
yeah.
Yeah, because like that was his job, and he was great at it.
Yeah.
When he came in,
Charlie
you didn't
Batch.
feel bad that about their chances.
Yeah.
I'll fight to the death over Charlie Batch and his GOAT backup QB status.
I mean, he did have some pretty good dudes to throw to also.
Yeah, because I mean, in the GOAT backup QB talk, people might mention Tom Brady, but once he got in, he was in. He wasn't.
Did
He
you
wasn't a career
see
backup.
did you see that Tom Brady broke 2 tablets
I heard. I did not.
last
Was
week?
it on video? I didn't see a video.
I don't know. I saw a
I heard.
story, but I think it's absolutely ridiculous. Like, number one, because it's Tom Brady doing it, no one cares. And like, let's say Lamar Jackson goes up and breaks 2 tablets. Are we just gonna be like, oh, or is Lamar Jackson gonna get called a hothead?
He'd get called a hot. He would get called a hothead.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And Tom Brady breaks 2, and they're like, and everybody's like, oh, he can buy 1,000,000 of them. I'm sure it's not an issue. That's one thing that grinded my gears this weekend.
Yeah. No, I definitely get that.
Um,
I definitely get what you're saying.
yeah, no, Bills lost. I mean, I still think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl. Do I think it's going to be significantly harder now? Yes. But not because they lost today, but I think because of who is out. But yeah, I still think they're going to win the Super Bowl.
Right. Did you ever, when you were a writer, like try to slide little things in the story and see if anybody noticed?
I know you do that. I know everybody. I know everybody has something that they do. I've done it a couple times. Like if I was like with someone when I was writing a story, like, and they would be like, "Oh, can you fit this into it?" And I would try to do it, but it was never like common enough, or there was never like one specific word that I wanted to get in there all the time.
Yeah. When I was in Indiana last week for that game,
Right.
like my mom grew up in Indiana, so I grew up listening to John Mellencamp because he's
Right.
like, the favorite son there. So I was like, I wonder how many John
I guess.
Mellencamp references.
Also, I saw
slide
that your
into the
mom did
story.
not like your Indiana reference a couple weeks ago.
No,
What did you call it? What was
the
it?
Arkansas of the North.
Right, the
Bloomington-
Arkansas
okay,
of the North.
Bloomington is probably of the Indiana places I've been, and I've been to quite a few.
Right.
Arguably my favorite. It's kind of like a big college town vibe. The stadium there, Memorial Stadium, is super cool. I liked it a lot.
Right. Yeah.
It's kind of like that old feel to it, but not like trashy old.
Right.
Like,
right.
People talk about Fenway Park and how great it is and historic,
Or
but I
Wrigley's
feel like
the
that's
same
just a nice way to say old. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause it's
Wrigley's
not
the
great
same
watching a
way.
game at Fenway.
I mean, it's a green concrete jungle that smells like urine, but I would go there tomorrow if I could because it's Wrigley
Hell
Field.
yeah, I would go there.
But-
yeah, I would go there.
But I know you wanted to fit some Cougar references in there.
Yeah, I think I got 5, and then our editor understood the assignment, and he went with the big headline.
Do you have to do it with
as-
your voice like that? Understood the assignment. I feel like you did.
I don't know what that reference is.
It's a
But,
song.
I don't know.
Oh my
But-
gosh.
But yeah, the headline was tumbling down, But I think I got
Tumbling.
5 in there. I got Paper and Fire in the lead. Some
I'm just gonna let
ROCK
you
in the
know-
USA.
I'm just gonna let you know, most of these are gonna go right over my head.
Well, one of our followers and listeners and subscribers will like it. I got
Yeah.
ROCK in the USA. I put some Crack
I know
Boom
that
Bam
one.
in there. That was a stretch. I think I had a Pink Houses line in there. Oh, I was really hoping someone would have a great touchdown catch, so I could say he sucked down the ball like it was a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. But nothing, nothing. And
So,
then like the next day or a couple days later, I get the news that Western's going to have a football game at Boston
oh yeah,
College, Chestnut Hill technically, but Boston College. So for my lead, I was like, Dropkick Murphys reference. All right, let's go. Western Kentucky is shipping up to Boston in 2024, and my boss is like, "Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to understand that reference here."
yeah, I
It's
don't
like
think
theirs
so.
like super popular, but
Yeah,
do you know the song though? Shipping up to Boston.
no, I know the Tessie song, but that's it. Isn't that Dropkick Murphys?
I think so.
Yeah, but you have seen. So we did talk about a movie the other night that you have seen
Yeah, and I don't remember what it is.
because we talked about Spotlight.
Oh yeah, Spotlight. Yeah, I've seen
Yeah,
Spotlight.
yeah, because it's phenomenal. It's the greatest. It's like it's the, and I'm probably gonna watch it tonight because I didn't watch it
Yeah.
when I told you I was gonna watch it.
Oh, liar.
I know I
But
did, but I've been watching the Dahmer documentary. I told you had to figure out how it ended, but I knew how
that's
it ended. So,
yeah,
um,
it's happened. It's not like there's some kind of plot twist.
I don't know, man. They could sneak someone else in there that we didn't know about or something. I don't know.
But yeah, no,
Um,
I've seen Spotlight. Because I've seen it because when it was about to come out, I believe one of the professors I had in college, who was the one that actually told me I should work at a newspaper, and I was like, nah, I don't really want to write.
right, because
7 years
writing,
later,
yeah,
but
writing sucks. Yeah.
um, she worked at the Boston Globe because I went to school up in that area,
Right,
and she
right.
was working at the Boston Globe at the time where all that Catholic Church stuff was coming out and getting broken by the
Right,
Boston
by the,
Globe.
yeah,
And so we had a special speaker for the whole school, and it was the guy Mark Ruffalo plays in that movie, the one
that's
that
awesome.
led everything. Yeah, he was super cool to talk to and stuff after because I was just hanging out, and the professor was there and introduced me and whatnot. So it was pretty cool, but it was a pretty good movie. And she said it was going to win whatever award it won.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not
it
up to
did.
date with all
Yeah,
the movies yet.
and
Like
like
before it
Mark
came out, she
Ruffalo's
was like,
character was like the go get him character.
yeah,
Yeah,
he was the guy. He was the
yeah, he
dude.
was the dude.
Still have not seen that one that you told me to see.
It's Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting. I still have
It's
not seen that.
like if I had to pick like 5 movies, man, I don't know, it'd be super hard. That like describe Boston, I would pick like I feel like The Departed is up there.
The Town.
The town is up there. Um, Good Will Hunting. Celtic Pride. You ever seen Celtic Pride?
No.
Oh, dude, it's so terrible. It's so good. It's got like Damon Wayans and Dan Aykroyd and the guy from Home Alone, the tall guy from Daniel Stern. But basically, Dan Aykroyd and him are Celtics fans, and Damon Wayans plays for the Jazz. And to beat the Jazz, they kidnap Damon Wayans, so he can't play. It's the greatest movie ever.
Huh.
It was on, my grandparents had it on VHS, and I watched it every single time I went over there.
Yeah.
But no, I would
Okay.
probably say those three are the top 3.
What about Boondock Saints?
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
Ted. You said The Departed.
The Departed.
The Departed.
I'd probably put Boondock Saints up there as like 4, like in the top 4, in the top 4 or 5.
Yeah. Except, when have you ever seen Fever Pitch? It's the Jimmy Fallon one.
Yes,
I've got it.
I know it's got Drew Barrymore. You weirdo. That may be up there.
I like
also.
how between Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore, I'm like, it's the Jimmy Fallon movie.
Yeah, I know what it is. It's Fever Pitch. It's great. It's like, yeah.
Yeah.
They beat the Cardinals in that one, you weirdo.
Oh yeah.
That's the one that they had to. So
Yeah. I know. I grew up a Yankees fan. I know what happened.
no, they had to reshoot the end of the movie.
Oh. I wasn't
because they had like Boston losing because they always do, but they had to reshoot the end of the movie because they didn't lose. And like they were in like the last scene is actually like them in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. No, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, anytime I watch a movie based in Boston, I think back to my college days and I'm like, it was just like that. Like I'll watch The Departed and I'll be
I
like,
was gonna
yeah,
say the town.
I remember
Was
that.
it like that for the
The
town?
town, yeah. I was like, I remember going and robbing banks.
Right. I remember seeing that dude in the mask just drive by like every day on the way to class. I remember whenever what's that one guy's name? The
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Yeah, Ben Affleck. Yeah.
I have seen that movie.
Well,
So,
of course you've seen The Town. The Town's great.
yeah, that was pretty good.
Do you have a prize pick this week? I have one that you
I
were
do.
gonna make me spoil earlier, but I was gonna have one.
Yeah, do you want to go first then?
Yes, I would love to go first. So my prize pick of the week, as Jared tried to make me allude to earlier, goes to SIU football coach Nick Hill and my beloved Salukis. Started 0-2, but started from the bottom. Now we're here. Now we're 2-2. Fall to Incarnate Word, fall to SEMO, 0-2, season on the brink. Everything is going Northwestern, beat some Big Ten butt. On the road in Evanston. Always nice to win a money game. You know what that's like. Always nice to win little money games. Come in last week or yesterday, beat North Dakota handily, 34-17. And former head coach or the coach of North Dakota is a former coach at SIU, Bubba Schweigert. So beat Bubba, but it was good. It was I don't know. I know that obviously you're not it helps you if Western does well, but like we'll say that, but it's kind of different for me, like being on this side. Like I feel like the day goes by better if SIU wins, just because I know everyone that I work with is going to be in a better mood. But yeah, just shout out to Nick and all those guys. I know they've been working super hard. Going down 0-2 on the year, that's always hard, but getting a win over a Big Ten team, our second, I think, 3 or 4 seasons. Then coming home, getting a big win on family weekend. And now we're on the road for a couple weeks. But yeah. Oh, also, can I have 2? Oh, I know I can have 2. We make the rules. What am I asking you? 1B, Albert Pujols.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I can't believe that dude's still playing.
Dude, I'm telling
the way
you.
he's been playing the last month or so. How does
Did
he
you see
retire?
my tweet the other day? I'm like, this dude is hitting dingers and he gets AARP mailers. Like, he is literally hitting like bombs at 43 years old. And I mean, yeah, he's 43 years old and he's hitting bombs. I wish he would have waited. I have tickets next Sunday with my family, and I'm going with them to the game. So I wish he would not have done it as soon as he did. But yeah, shout out to him. I mean, growing up, being a Cardinals fan, was I pissed he left and went to LA? Yeah. Did I write him off? Yeah. Did I care about him anymore? No, not at all. But he's back, so I forgive all that. But yeah, 700 home runs. That's a bunch of home runs.
Shoot, the way he's been playing, he might be tying, the Babe by the time you're at that game.
He's close in RBIs. He's like 9 off of RBIs.
That's what we call a hyperbole in the writing.
Did you see the stat that in his career, like on average of his trot and everything, like totaled up, he has home run trotted for 5 hours in his career?
Who does that stat?
I don't know. Well, I guess it's technically not that hard. You would just like try to figure out what his average time is.
Runs.
Yeah, and then just multiply it by 700. I think that's how.
Who sits there for 5 hours and watches him trot to just timing it?
I would
for
watch
one stat
trot.
like that.
I would watch him trot for 5 hours.
That's a lot.
Hey Jared, who's your prize pick of the week?
Mine might not go over that well in Bowling Green, but but mine's going to be Rick Stockstill, Middle Tennessee head football coach, longtime head coach there. They took a pretty good beating at James Madison. James Madison just moving up to the FBS ranks in their first game.
Former FCS champ.
Yeah, lost 44-7 to James Madison to open up the season. James Madison, though, now 3-0 after winning at App State this weekend. So they've been pretty good. They're legit. But anyway, since then, Middle Tennessee has won 3 games. I think it was earlier this week or last week sometime. Might have been last week. The news came out that he had received an extension. People weren't really happy with it. They think he's underachieved there.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last couple games, they beat Tennessee State 49-6. That was after a win at Colorado State. And then they go to Miami on Saturday and win 45-31. A ranked Miami team on the road, getting that money.
Right.
Like you said.
It was like 1.5, right?
I think it was 1.5,
yeah. Yeah, like a dumb amount of money.
Yeah, and I remember when I saw that extension thing and everybody was unhappy, I was like, it might be unpopular, but I like the move because you see all the time in college sports at that level. How often does a team consistently win conference titles? Like, it's good to say year in and year out they're great, but most teams don't win conference titles year in and year out, but they're consistently, they've consistently won under him, consistently making bowl games. And there's something, at that level to say about stability, because if he leaves, if he gets fired and they bring in someone new, that person's probably going to be gone 3 to 4 years because they're really good or because they're really bad. And then you're starting all over from scratch. And, with everything going on in conference realignment too, with the shape that Conference USA was in going into this year, a little bit unstable. He's a guy that's been around. You go to Conference USA football media days, and he's the guy, Rick Stockstill is, that's walking around talking to everybody, kind of like, the glue of the conference, if you will.
Right.
So, and he's always seemed like a great guy to work with, and that's the only thing I've really ever heard about him is he's a nice guy. So, might not be popular here in Bowling Green, but that's who mine is this week.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty good one, I feel like.
Did you see Rihanna halftime show this year?
Oh, yeah, man. Riri giving out a halftime show. Yeah, I'm excited.
I feel like that's a solid choice. Like, I feel like some people will be unhappy, and they'll be like, this is inappropriate for the kids.
Yeah, it'll be all the old...
But I hope S&M comes
white people.
That's a banger.
Yes. Wait, what?
I said I hope they do S&M because that's a banger.
Yeah,
that'd be like the one that you don't know.
I don't think that one would go over as well. There's a few, Umbrella. It is a banger though.
It's so popular. How could she not?
I feel like she's one that you don't really hear people bashing her a lot, or do you? I don't know. I'm not up to. I don't know.
No, I don't.
I know in your circles, Jared, do you hear people bash Rihanna?
I don't.
Okay. My circles either. Yeah.
Yeah. Take a Bow might be one.
Oh man, that's such a that's a good song.
The Monster. That's Eminem. Maybe Eminem will come back out. Oh, what else? Rude Boy. Oh, that one might not be on there.
Come on, Rude Boy.
Disturbia.
I like Disturbia. That's a good one.
Yeah, that'll probably come on.
A
little Love the Way You Lie. Get Eminem out there.
Dude, I'm a huge...
Because they always bring in, other people.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, he was there. He was there last year? I didn't get to watch last year. I was in Mississippi.
I don't remember the Super Bowl last year. I don't think I watched it. I think I was still sad. Right, it was the Bengals Rams.
Oh, yeah, you were in mourning.
I think I was still sad after that. I don't think I watched it. Yeah. Good show this week. I think this was good.
Yeah, that's what happens when we have a week off. Hopefully, we'll have another exciting show and more exciting news in the future.
I almost
But
fell. I feel like I got too far. So why I smiled during your prize pick, one of our grad assistants just texted in our group chat and said, I, he goes, I swear I just saw a UFO. and, and then somebody said, yeah, shooting stars are cool. So I
those
don't
are
think
two
he,
separate.
I know. I think he's making fun of him, saying like that you didn't see a UFO. Yeah, shooting stars are super cool. But thank you all for hanging out with us this week. We will see you soon. Jared, as always, thank you, my friend.